Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, and today I want to tell you how to teach people how to play Kill Team. This is inspired by the fact that GW Warhammer, the YouTube channel, just put out their own kind of, what's it called? First time playing Kill Team. And basically, I think they did a really good job. Now, obviously what they did is kind of pitching it at a true beginner. Someone that legitimately does not know what a wargame is. And that speaks to me because, you know, I think the more people we can bring into the game, the better. Because let's be honest, although I am rapidly becoming an old man, I like to, you know, see that younger people, new blood is still coming into the hobby, and that inevitably means that chances are very strong that their first games are going to be Kill Team, because it's pitched as the cheaper, quicker, faster version of 40k. Yes, we've got lots of eyes on 40k at the moment because of, you know, Space Marine 2, other media bringing people in, and they may well come straight to Kill Team. Now, of course, there are other ways to learn, but I want to talk about what they do in this video, why I think it's good, and also other ways you might be able to teach people. Cool. Now, before I get on to that, obviously I would like to say that I would like to give a big subscriber only benefit, and that benefit is a big double hello. Wow, so wholesome. What is a double hello? A double hello is a pleasantry that's given to you twice. Why would you want two pleasantries? Because it's more than one. More is better. That's all I'm throwing out there. Anyway, also, before I dive into things, I would like to quickly point yourself to Etsy, where I have partnered up with Crossfire Games to show you some cool new objective markers, all these cool things. For example, you want these bad boys? There you go. They sell these super cheap. You can get 5% off if you put the code GlassHalfDead24 in there. They also do other things. The token caddy is my personal favorite. I've mentioned it in other videos, but I like tokens, I like gadgets, I like widgets, and this is one of those. They also sent me over the Essentials kit, which just carries everything in, including your token caddy, which I personally am hyped for. And then what else do you put in there? A laser line, obviously. And it also has some 20mm objectives. This is good shit. This is good stuff. I said sugar, right? And then also it has a little score tracker that you just put on top, and that's everything you need. Cool. 5% off, Glass Half Dead 24. All right, let's talk about how to teach people how to play Kill Team. Oh, just on the off chance you aren't aware, you need these. It doesn't have to be from Crossfire Games. You need a 40mm marker that shows the 1-inch control range. Just, you need that in your game. There are free things online. You need these. They make the game easier. There you go. Doesn't have to be through my link, doesn't have to be from Crossfire Games, but you need these. There you go. Take that from a pro. And by pro, I mean not good at the game. There you go. Let's just say that and move on. Right. So here we go. I want to tell you what it is Warhammer did that I thought was pretty cool and interesting and innovative. And then perhaps kind of that back and forth with you, kind of, you know, just whether it's good or bad. So first things first, it's all about, they pitched this at a true beginner, okay? A legitimate, I have never seen a war game, I don't know what a model is before thing. And the way they did this, and you can tell that's what they were pitching this at, is a few things. First of all, the models are not painted, right? That in itself tells you something. That in itself is saying, hey, don't worry. We know that the hobby, that painting is a whole big thing that could be intimidating or scary, but you know what? This is a game. You can just play the game. Cool. So this is me kind of telling you, chill out, guys, okay? Just be cool. If you want newer players to get into the game, I would strongly recommend a few of the things they did here. There are other ways to teach people, but here's a few big things they did. At no point in the video, maybe they edited it out, who knows, but at no point did they actually hand the new player a measuring stick. At no point did they say measure 6 inches. At no point did they say your pistol is an 8-inch range. At no point did they say you need to measure your 8-inch charge, because when you move, you are your move, which is 6 inches, by the way, plus 2 inches. No, none of that. They didn't even really say, they basically told them what they can do and then allowed them to do it. And they did, and I genuinely think that if you're trying to get a new person into the game, that is how you have to do it. Now, the reason I mention this, because it's something close to my heart, is because I have tried to do this as well. I have tried to get new players into the game, and I know the rules, and so I tell them the rules. And buddy, that is not how you do it for true beginners. Obviously, if you have someone that's already kind of board game curious, or their mind just works that way, yeah, tell them everything you need to tell them, right? Tell them, hey, 6 inches, here's a 6-inch widget, make a move, right? But for example, in this video, Nick Baton, the presenter, does not at any point say, you can take 3 actions because you have APL 3. Every time you take an action, it removes one of your APL. And these are the 8 core actions you can do. No, none of that. He just said, there's an objective in the center, and you want to kill my guys and stand on that objective. So your turn first. Your guy, what do you want to do? Look at my 2 guys, they're quite close to you. Maybe you want to shoot them, right? That's all he did. And then, you know, the new player just said, oh yeah, okay, all right, I want to shoot that guy. And he just says, roll these dice. And that's it. He doesn't explain the nuances. He doesn't even say, by the way, when you roll a 6, you get a crit. He waited until the new player rolled a crit, right? It's all about passing out information when it's relevant. If they don't need to know what a move and a dash is, and oh, by the way, when you deploy, you can't, you know, like none of this. Just when it's needed, let them know. And I think that he put on a very good game for somebody's first ever game, and I would like to recommend to you that you consider doing a very similar thing. Now, obviously, not many people actually get the opportunity to bring in a genuinely new player, right? Like someone that has never played a board game. So a lot of you will be thinking, okay, I need to pitch slightly higher than that. However, I would really like to stress that I have been induced, we could incorrectly say, to, for example, Infinity. And the way my opponent got me into that was he basically did this. He didn't tell me anything, really. He just said, hey, you know, here's some models. I made a list for you. And you go first. You've got like 15 actions. What do you want to do? And I said, oh, I don't know. Move here, shoot this guy. He said, yeah, sure. This is how it works. And only told me kind of as it was necessary what I needed to know. Very genuinely, I think that's the way to do things. Allow me to give you an anecdote, which I think perhaps might entice you into the way of thinking that this is correct. It's Necromunda, unfortunately. Sorry, Necros. Basically, I'm aware of a local player who's a kill teamer. One of the local guys from the FLG, you know, the gaming club, he was going to teach him Necromunda. They both come along. I think one of them's got Escher's, one of them's got Delac, and the guy just brings it a total noob stomp list. And he turns the lights off. He mind controls someone to jump off a thing, instantly killing them. None of them can shoot because the lights are off, but he brought all night vision goggles. Okay, and it's like, that is the worst possible player experience ever. And since then, I have asked this player, hey, do you want to play Necromunda again? Because he's very open to playing different game systems. And he said, nah. So for him, Necromunda is gone because his first ever game was such a bad experience. Now, obviously, that was because the other guy teaching him was a dick, unfortunately. Not intentionally, he was just playing the game, but, you know, it should have been a learning game, not a stomping game, right? Not a tough game. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. Think about that. Think about that. Anyway, you can also turn people off not just by stomping them. You know, win or lose, that's fine. You should always hope that your opponent, the person you're teaching, does win. You should make sure they win, to clarify. Even if you table them, you should make sure they win on VP, like accidentally, basically. But don't table them. Pro tip. Anyway, just something to keep in mind. Another way to turn somebody off a game is indeed, as I'm talking about, information overload. So, yes, this Necromunda guy noob stomped him, but equally, he could have turned this player off just as much by having a 1 hour talk about all the possible interactions, list building, etc. beforehand, and it'd be like, yeah, I can't remember a thing, I'm just not going to play, right? Very genuinely, that's how a lot of people view these games, right? There's a lot to them, and if the teacher just overloads you, it's going to suck. Now, that's cool. So I think this is really good. I think everybody should go out and watch this. If you have ever wanted to help build the Kill Team community, this is a perfect kind of tutorial for you, teaching you how to teach the game. Nice. So, information only when it's relevant. Just ask them what they want to do and let them do it. Don't get caught up in measurements. That is a big thing, okay? If we look at this board here, you could easily do this. You could do it with Vulcus. You could do it with anything. I would recommend the cooler your board looks, the better. So maybe don't use MDF terrain, but, you know, like use Vulcus. Just let them do things, right? If they say, oh, I'd like to move there and kill that guy. It doesn't matter if that's a 7-inch move, right? Just say, yeah, move there. That's fine, right? You don't need to measure things. Cool. Another thing that then, of course, must be pointed out is that after that, they will eventually need to learn the game. Now, you might want to send them to this, but, you know, you let them reach out to you. Don't bombard them with links. Information when it's relevant, only when they want to get into it. Or you can be super casual and say, oh yeah, just check YouTube and type in how to play Kill Team. You'll find a bunch of resources, okay? Let them go through their own journey. However, if you do want to take somebody that has gone for that beginner and you've given them that super casual, super light, super fluffy first game, which again, I fully recommend you do, you then need to give them the correct video to watch. Now, obviously, a few different content creators have done a how to play. You've got some really good ones out there. I would say, again, if they are a genuine noob like that, my how to play video is the best. Now, the reason I say that is not because I think that what I did is particularly better than anybody else's. Not at all. I think all of the different how to plays that have been done are equally good in different ways. And they all service a slightly different clientele. My how to play video over on Tactical Skew here, the how to play part 1, the basics, followed then by part 2, the advanced, of course, and then, of course, 2 relatively chilled out, casual, fun, chat back and forth style battle reports, but starting with part 1, the basics, how to play, are very, very geared at new players, just like that Warhammer video was. So in part 1, the basics, I tell you what a base is. I tell you how you measure inches, right? That is relatively unique in a how to play video. In fact, it is legitimately unique in a how to play video for Kill Team, because obviously most people assume that you're coming over from 40k, which most people are, so it's fine to assume that. However, I felt like somebody has to take Kill Team as its own game, right? Its own system that is going to attract people in because of the fact that it's smaller 40k. So it is truly basic. It is truly, hey, here's how you measure an inch. Here's what a number means. Here's how you roll it. Here's what a d6 is, right? Normally, you only get that kind of basic information in 40k videos, because every other type of game basically assumes that you are coming from 40k and already have intimate knowledge of wargaming in general, right? Cool. So I would recommend that if you've got that true new to wargaming opponent that you're trying to bring into the system, if you will. Cool. Well, anyway, hopefully that's allowed you to get some information from me. There you go. Hope that was helpful. Basically, I saw this video, I thought it was cool, and I hear so many horror stories about people trying to bring in new players and overloading them with info or stomping them. Although, if I'm honest, I suspect that if you're somebody that would stomp a new player, you don't care about a video telling you how to teach people how to play Kill Team. But, you know, it is what it is, right? I can only do what I can do. Anyway, if you think this has been helpful and you think perhaps you've got some community leaders in your area and you've watched this, consider sending them this, or you know, if you're not vibing me, just send them the first time playing Kill Team video from Warhammer, which they would watch, because I think it's very good advice. There you go. And all we can do here, all I can do for the community, is try and spread equally good advice. Okay, well, if you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. And finger guns, apparently. Don't know why I'm doing that. Anyway, don't forget, Etsy, Crossfire Games, Glass Half Dead 24 is 5% off. Alright, thanks very much, everybody. Thank you for watching to the end. You absolute ledge. Nice.